Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. Happy New Year. I'm gonna get started in just a second. I'm gonna turn down the volume just a little bit on here for me. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna turn this on too. So we're gonna get started. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of gesture drawing today, as I typically do. I think I'm going to do, just because like the stuff that I want to work on that's outside of gesture drawing is like going to be comic related or manga related. So I'm going to not be doing too many like character design things. Maybe here and there like side characters, just so y'all can see that process in the near future. But I'm going to do a lot of gestures on like Tuesday, and then maybe my Thursdays I'll do a quick like gesture warm-up, and then maybe start to do some of those side characters for you. I hope that your New Year's went really well. I have a new internet setup, so hopefully it makes the stream feel even better. I am going to try to get a new camera at some point, or figure out a camera situation at some point soon as well. So, yeah, let me get the gesture drawing stuff up, and then we can get started. Again, I hope all of you had a fantastic New Year. I did. I'm excited for this year. I have big plans. I want to start a new manga on Voice Me, and I want to apply to a job, an art job at some point as well. So I'm super excited about that. I think I'm getting closer and closer every day to that being like feasible for me. Sorry, I just want to find my one reference thing. Manga poses, this is what I wanted. And we will get started here. Sorry, I'm just editing this. So I'm going to do slightly different gesture drawing. I'm only going to take a minute, 30 seconds for each one. I'll keep the 1 minute breaks. I'm going to do 2 rounds of this. Sorry, should have had this set up beforehand, but we'll get there. 1, 3, 2, 3. Actually, let me save this, but I'm gonna go ahead and add in here. Let's do break. Pull that down. 5 drawings for 1 minute. Break. Not a 5-minute break, that's too long. 1 minute. 1 minute. Add. 5 minute and a half. And we'll do one more break. 1 minute, add 5, 1 minute and a half, and I am going to give myself a 2-minute break in the middle here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total. So 1, 2, 3. We'll make this one the 2-minute break. So we got about 51 minutes of gesture drawing. Oh no, I wanted to save that. Edit session. Oh yeah. 1.3.23 long. Let's do Tuesday. Tuesday stream. All right. So now we can get started. Put this on my other screen so I can also view comments. Alright. Getting started here. So this is a mixture of like realistic stuff and some manga stuff. I am going to be adding gestures soon. Probably do that this week sometime for maybe like the Thursday stream. I am going to start back up with regular videos. I have one planned, I think, for this upcoming weekend. But I'm not 100% sure if I'll be able to get it done, so it's possible that we don't get that done this weekend and we start with the Saturday ones next weekend. Alright. This pose is a little difficult because there's a lot of foreshortening in it. And I actually haven't drawn this one too frequently, which is strange considering I did. This is one of Mark's poses. The last, by the way, I think was Jujutsu Kaisen. I just kind of pulled ones that I liked off the internet and didn't pay too much attention to which one was associated with which, but yeah, this is a pose by Mark Brunet, which you can get on QBrush's site. I think I have it in the description if you want to see that. So there is a bit of perspective, and I think this foot lands just slightly ahead, so we want to make sure to get that in there. And this hand is just over here. Alright, next one. When you're doing these gestures, so this is like a slightly advanced way of doing gestures because I'm doing volumized gestures with different like shapes and forms that are slightly exaggerated. So this is a little bit harder, a little bit more advanced method. You want to kind of start, and I can show y'all if y'all would like to see it in the comments. You can tell me. If not, I'll just keep going like I am. But the way that you want to start with your gesture drawing journey is by just looking at the overall flow of these figures that you're drawing, because that will allow you to get to this level where you're able to do volumized gestures in a relatively short amount of time that capture the flow of the figure. So I can actually pause it just for a second. So one thing that I was looking at for this one, for instance, that you might not necessarily be aware of if you don't do that first step that I was just talking about, is there's this this like curve and this figure that starts at the top of the head and goes kind of like, oops, starts here, goes down, and then comes down again. There's it's like a lot of wiggling, right? So I wanted to make sure to capture all of that. And if I wanted to simplify that a bit, I would have stopped here, here, and then it comes down, and it kind of goes here and then here. So that's kind of like the line that I was thinking about. Or to simplify it even more, there's a line that just kind of goes like this. So, but those lines aren't really apparent to you if you aren't familiar with gesture drawing and doing that first step that I was talking about. This next figure is Ed Elric from Full Metal Alchemist. So I have been trying to get some manga reference in here, so that, you know, I feel more ready for when I start doing my my own manga. Oops, not one. So this part I'm just kind of making up because it actually cut off right here, but I figured it would be good practice. That one's pretty much done, so I'll take a quick swig. Text my fiance really fast. Alright, next one. You take a second. That depends on what the request is. Like, I might do one at the end, but I'm doing mostly gestures today. Also, if I'm remembering correctly, are you the person that I did the request for a while ago with the fox? Yeah, so you must be the person that I did that for, cause yeah. So that request, if you want something that's that detailed again, I'm gonna have to ask you to. You can DM me on like Twitter or something, because I know you have my Twitter. That's something that I would have to commission, just because that. You know, that takes a lot of effort. I don't have a problem doing it for you, and we could talk about like a fair price or whatever, but that's like, that was a commissioned piece in my opinion. I hope you had a great new year, as also GD Cat. Alright, So this is a good gesture for me to practice because it's a twisted body, which I have some difficulty with sometimes. Alright, a whole bunch of Ed Elric references today. I'm sure with doing almost an hour of gesture, though, that I'll probably get to almost every single one of these. Alright. Let me see if I can get... Oh, it was only 8 seconds, never mind. I was going to see if I could quickly sketch in the other one too, because there's two figures in this particular image that I have. This is from Dr. Stone. This is a pretty difficult angle because it's ant's eye. Next. This is also a slight ant's eye view. Body's actually going this way. So I'm gonna get this hip in. This foot's a little too low, so I'll edit it to there. And then we'll get here. Alright, didn't finish that one, but that's okay. Ooh, this is a cool one. Jujutsu Kaisen again. This is like a little bit of a bird's eye view. This one's interesting because his chest goes in and then everything else comes out like that. It's a pretty cool pose. I like it. So then you get this S curve like this. He's like floating. Clean this up just a bit in here. Now if y'all ever want some of these sheets, like I feel like I'm pretty comfortable with saying like these are at least decent to use as a reference and stuff, or use it for your own gesture drawings. But if y'all ever want some of those things, one of my New Year's resolutions was for me to start to post things like this on social media a little more. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can do that, and you can get some of these sheets. I'll pick like my favorite ones and put it on there, like maybe 10 of them or 20 of them or something like that. And you can kind of, you know, go through and pick some of them up or whatever you want to do. All right. Oof. I appreciate y'all joining. Hope that you all had a great new year, and depending on what you celebrate, a good holiday season as well. Alright, so this is an interesting pose. Again, quite a bit of foreshortening here. Alright, so her body goes in, hips are gonna come towards us. This knee is about here. So let me erase away this. This is how you want to also do like foreshortened poses. You want to draw everything first and then erase away later. It's called drawing through. It'll help you if you're getting stuck with like, oh man, this doesn't look quite right. It'll definitely help you with that. That was ugly. Alright, and then this knee is over here. Oops. This leg comes down here, foot there. Alright, so that's about right for that. There we go. Another relatively difficult pose. Slight, or not slight, it's an anti-view of this character jumping down. Also, I do apologize that I'm not showing the gestures on screen. If that's something that y'all want again, just tell me, and I'll go back to doing some of Mark's ones here and there. But at this point, I do need to start getting prepped for my manga, so I have to use references that are copyrighted and things like that. And I don't have permission from the people who created the references to use on the stream, or show on the stream, I should say, because you're allowed to use things as a study however you would like. So if that's something that you would like, just tell me, and I'll see what I can do. Maybe I'll do like gesture with like Mark's stuff for like 10 minutes or something like that, and then I'll go, because I do have permission from him, and then I'll go into, practice my feet again. Whatever, I'm not going to sit there and struggle with it. Then I'll go into my other stuff. Crouching pose. Or I should say a seated pose. Nice standing pose here. What's up, Mike? Happy New Year's to you as well. And it was a good, I wouldn't say it was restful just because I did a lot of traveling and stuff and seeing family, but it was definitely fulfilling, I will say that. It was really nice seeing everybody and hanging out with my family and seeing my dad and stuff. It's been a little bit since I've seen him. And my brother, of course. I hope yours was great as well and filled with happiness. It was time well spent, yep. This one's actually kind of going this way. Alright, I think this is the last one I'll be able to fit on this page before I move on to the next. This one's difficult because there's a lot of clothing in the way. Sorry, Mike, I will get to that in just a second. I think that there's getting ready to be a break, so I'll be able to look at your comment. My apologies. But yeah, I think that this one... is difficult just because of the clothing and stuff like that. But it's definitely a pose that I'll want to try to memorize a bit. So I don't know what happens with this leg, this lower leg, but I'm gonna guess it does something like that. Arm is here, and then here. Yep, alright, so this is my 2-minute break. I got some good R&R in. I don't usually get a chance to take any time away from work, so it was quite the change for me. That's good. Yeah, I'm about to, I think, take probably 3 days off of work in January at some point, just so I can just relax, take care of myself, draw, go to the gym, things like that. I haven't had the opportunity to do that since probably Thanksgiving, so that's something I'm looking forward to. Alright. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to keep doing live streams every Tuesday, Thursday. Oh, I appreciate that, Mike. Mike said you've said in the past that you're not a very confident person, but you're a good motivator. I appreciate that. Yeah, this year I would like to apply to a video game industry job at some point. I think probably this summer is when I would like to apply, just to see where I'm at. Hopefully I even get some feedback. I don't know if they do that, but and I also want to start doing my manga. I'm gonna do a few 10-page mangas, short story ones, just showing you some of my characters and a little bit of the magic system, and then I'm gonna go into the bigger manga. So yeah, but I will continue to do the live streams and stuff, because I actually, this is my favorite part about doing YouTube. If I could just get rid of my Saturday videos and just do these, I think I would, but I think the Saturday videos are good as well. So I'm going to start those back up pretty soon. Alright, so going into the second half of these gestures. But yes, I will say I'm not the most confident human being, especially with my art yet. I'm getting more gestures. I feel good about my gestures, and that's mostly because at this point Mark has said that he thinks that my gestures are better than most people in the video game industry. He was basically saying I'm at a professional level with my gestures, which is really cool to hear. Especially considering, I'm not a professional, so there's other things that I need to work on, like my colors and my shading and just my overall character design, but hopefully that gets kind of worked out as I do my manga. Sorry, I do see you have another comment. I will get to it in just a second. It is. It was very nice of him to say, because I like to ask him every once in a while where he feels like I am in regards to getting a being able to apply for a job professionally and get it. He actually feels if I did apply for some of the smaller agencies that I could probably get hired, but he thinks that I am capable of being hired at one of the bigger AAA departments. So here, let me pause this so I can get to your other comment. Really looking forward to hearing about those great updates. Have you mentally checked out from your current work? If I was changing fields, I'd have to be mentally out of it first. No, this would be a lot of work, but I think if I was to get this other job, I would try to do I mean, I would have to talk with them. I would try to do both for as long as I could, because I do enjoy my current job, but I think that at the end of the day, if I get the other job doing artwork and I can make just as much or more than what I'm making now, then I would switch. But nah, like my job, I feel like I can't be mentally checked out at all, just because of like the clientele that I work with and the clinicians that depend on me. So I'm not checked out yet, but I'm sure once it gets closer, maybe I would be. I will say though, I don't feel, and this isn't a reflection of like my colleagues or anything, but I don't feel like I get paid enough to do what I do, and that is say like I love my current job, but I do enjoy drawing much more. Like I just feel like it just feels so like, I don't know, it's like a healing thing for me. Oh yeah, I think you did tell me that before. Cool. I bet. Yeah, like if you if you like are able to get like a industry job working for a triple A like studio, you could easily like, and I don't know exactly what you make. I'm sure like doing consulting for IT, you could probably make a ton. But oops, sorry, give me 1 second. If you can end up being like a senior concept artist for like Blizzard or like Riot or something like that, you can make 6 figures, which is not, I don't think that's going to be possible in the work that I do. And to do work that I would really enjoy and be able to, you know, take care of myself and my family better, like why wouldn't I do it, right? I appreciate that, Mike. I definitely still have a lot that I want to work on, but I'm like, if you would have told me a few years ago that I would be at the level that I'm at now, I would have said you were crazy. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, it does. It's definitely like what is that word? Like cathartic? Is that what the word is? When it's like something that like is like a healing experience for you, like you're able to kind of just like be a person, and I do like my one of my bigger goals too is to be good enough to create like a manga. And I mean, I've shared this on stream before, but that would help people, help children in particular who struggle with things in their life of not feeling accepted and stuff like that. Like that's like the big goal. So, which is interesting because it wraps into my therapy in a lot of ways. So my current job, it's about like I just want to be able to reach a bigger audience with that message. So I think this is a good way to try to do it. Alright, so her ear is here, ankle is here. So short break. Oh, this one? Thank you, I appreciate that. Head's a little small, probably. Fix that, but appreciate it. I think there might be a slight perspective issue as well with the hips. I'm trying to think here, so yeah, I think the hips probably be a little bit more. Something I would fix later on. Serves as a good foundation now. Oof. Oh, Mike, actually before this starts back up, I want to show you something because I know that you're a huge, like, I know that you were originally jumped on here and was asking about like what you would need in order to create like a fan fiction like manga of Dragon Ball. I actually did a painting for my brother for Christmas, but I also printed one out myself. I'm gonna get it really fast and show you because I think that you'll enjoy it. Little like halftime unboxing. Yeah, so I did a quick, like, not quick, it took me a little bit, but oops, sorry, I'm sure that was super loud, sorry about that. But I did a like a fan art of Super Saiyan 3 Goku for my brother. And I did that because like several years ago I did a Super Saiyan 3 for him that just needed to be updated because it wasn't quite at the level that I'm capable of anymore. Alright. I have to ask, where do you seek references? Pinterest full of cool images, but I end up being overwhelmed with details without seeing any basic shapes. So the references that I'm currently using are a lot of Mark Brunet's. If you go on his CubeBrush website, I think it's in the description, but if you go on his CubeBrush website, there's like a reference sheet with a whole bunch on it. Now there's a lot of detail in that. I will say, like, it's difficult. It's difficult to just see like shapes at first. So I was saying this at the beginning of this stream actually. I'm gonna start posting these on my Instagram. If you want to follow me on there, you can use these as references because I am just using simple shapes, and I'm comfortable enough with my art level at this point to say that you can use some of my stuff as a reference to help you with that, or as a guide. Just know that it's not 1,000% accurate because they're just 1.5 minute gestures. All right, Mike. I gotta pull this up. Maybe I can I'll make this a little bigger for you for just a second, but this is the Goku that I did for my brother. Let me yeah, there it goes. So it's still wrapped in the plastic, which is why you're seeing the shine and stuff, but yeah, this is what I did for him. And the cool part about it is like all of this was from imagination pretty much. So yeah, that'll be posted up in the back. And I can show you on here as well. Let me see here. Open recent Goku. So yeah, this is what what it looked like just on the actual thing itself. Had a lot of fun doing this one too. Yeah, this is mostly without. The only time I used a reference was to make sure I got, like, for instance, the symbol right and stuff like that. But the pose is from imagination. The background, I mean, I did look at reference just to make sure I remembered what Janemba's like scene looked like. But everything else, imagination. So. Alright, back to the task at hand. Yep. Fight against Janemba. I love that movie is so loved, and like one of the things that people criticize, like the current the most recent movie with Gohan in it, the biggest criticism is like Gohan's form isn't like in the movie for long enough, which I agree with, but the same thing is true of Gogeta from that Janemba movie. He's in the movie for like maybe 2 minutes. He just beats the crap out of Janemba and like it walks off, and that's it. Like, and people love Gogeta. It's like one of the favorites of all time, and it's just like he's in a movie for 20 seconds. I also do love that movie. I think it's a pretty good one. And I also love Gogeta. He's one of my favorite characters. It's just really funny. Yeah, no problem. I'll try to get the images from this stream up, or some of them up tonight for you, if you want to use them. Oh, you're a Vegito guy. Cool. Yeah, I'm more of a Gogeta guy. Sorry, I am going to quickly... That's true, because Gogeta doesn't really have a personality, except for in the most recent Broly movie. He has a little bit more of a personality in that one. He's super cocky. Only thing I don't like really about... I actually really enjoy both of them, so it's not like I dislike one or the other. But the only thing I don't really like about Vegito is it just feels like he comes out and he doesn't really accomplish anything. I mean... The Buu Saga, he does do something that's important, which is, comes up with a plan to allow himself to be absorbed and all that good stuff so they can save people. But he doesn't like, he beats the crap out of Buu that whole time, but he doesn't actually defeat an opponent, right? Whereas Gogeta actually defeats the opponents when he fights them. He's just like strictly business, like, nah, like, this is over with. I'm not messing around with you too much. Granted, he did mess around with Broly quite a bit, which is fun to watch, but oh man, I haven't done this one yet. Which pose should I do? I'm gonna do this pose. This is a good one to do, though. It's a very emotional pose. Coop, what's up, buddy? I was just thinking about you. I was like, man, Coop's been a little MIA. Well, I will say, Mike, that's slightly flawed only because they still use Dragon Balls from Namek. So they did have those. And yes, I agree. Zamasu being immortal. That saga got ruined. That had the potential to be one of the better sagas in all of Dragon Ball, and they just butchered it at the end. I hated it. I know! Coop, how you been? How was your new year? I hope you had a happy new year. Hope you're doing well. Hope your mom's doing well. Hope your family's doing well. Yes, it is. It was just like that's one thing too, is that that arc, I just don't like the arc, the Buu arc. It's just so riddled with so many different issues and inconsistencies and stuff like that. I don't know. It's like Goku didn't want to throw the spirit bomb at the end because Vegeta was there, and it's like, bruh, like, you can wish Vegeta back. Just throw it. Like, why didn't somebody go and get Gohan, who was, at that time, in my opinion, obviously the strongest unfused fighter in the series, so what are you doing here? At the very least, Gohan could have stalled long enough for Goku to get the spirit bomb ready. There's just so much that was just very annoying about that saga. It was like, I rewatched it recently, and it was just like, wow, this is not very well put together. And that's coming from me, and I love Dragon Ball, like, I love it. Can't have Coop without a mom. Everyone and everything is doing well. How was yours? It was good, Coop. I appreciate you asking. I had a great time. It was, I did a lot, which is great. It was nice to see my family. Nice to see my nieces. They're growing like weeds. It's crazy. Sorry, give me 1 second, Mike, and I'll get to it. Oh, this one shouldn't take me too long. I'll get to your comment in just a second. But let's see here. But Piccolo could still sense Buu, so yeah. Sorry, that Gohan was just standing around with Piccolo and the kids, and I think that they had no way to get to the sacred realm of the Kais. Well, so again, like that's why it's just so riddled with stuff. Like Supreme Kai could have instant transmission, got them, and then taken them to the planet of the Kais, and then left, right? But the decision was to not do that for whatever reason. Really, the reason is mostly because, you know, people wanted Goku to be the one to do the job, right? So I literally thought that was convenient. Watch Gurren Lagann. I need to. This year I'm gonna try to get to a little bit more anime, just to help me. One for writing, but two, I love anime, so I'm gonna try to watch some more stuff this year. So we shall see. Alright, I think that this might be the last little bit here. She doesn't really, my fiance doesn't really enjoy anime that much, so that's something that I have to kind of find my time for, because I'm not going to make her watch it with me too much. Maybe. She did watch, like, she watched Naruto with me, and, she also watched, like, all of Dragon Ball with me. So it's not like she's totally opposed to it, but it's just not her favorite thing in the world. I have not seen that. The TMNT related thing that I really want to see is, and I don't know if they have an animated version of this yet, but they definitely should. I want to see The Last Ronin with Michelangelo. Like, that looks really cool. It's a really cool concept, I think. There needs to be a little bit more space. Sorry, I do see your comment. I will get to it in just a second. Sorry, it's just hard for me to get to the longer comments when I'm doing the gestures, just because, you know, I only have like a minute and a half. Alright, I will pause just for a second. We can really see shapes, even dynamic shapes, in epic battle scenes. Like, for real, it might blow the brain out of the skull, because it blows my brain every time. Yeah, like, it's really cool to see how people that animate, like, really stretch, like, what the body is capable of. Sorry, give me 1 second. This thing, I hate when it does this. It like mirrored itself. Whatever. It's just really cool because it doesn't break it, right? It like stretches it just enough. And it's just awesome to see. Alright. Whatever. We'll go with this. We'll go with this. Ah, there it goes. Flipped itself. This might be the last one. I'm not sure, because I am running out of space, which is telling me it is coming up on being the last one at the very least. Yep. Cool, so let's look and see. We got a lot of work in today. So this is the first page, and this is... Sam, that's a great question. How would you draw a twisting figure? So that's something that I still struggle with a bit, but I will do my best. So yeah, these are the 2 pages that we have for today. A lot of work done. And a twisting figure. So the first thing is like, we have to understand how much the body can reasonably twist. And like, let me get up for this maybe a little bit. You might not be able to even see me, but like, at most your shoulder, and maybe you can go a little further, but at most your shoulder, when you twist, is going to go about to that to the far hip is the most you're gonna get, and that's probably breaking it a little bit. So for instance, your left shoulder is going to get to about your right hip. So when you're drawing twisting forms, the first thing that you want to think about is how how does a piece of paper twist? So let's try to twist the top that way. When a piece of paper twists, you get from here to here, so you're gonna have this and then this, right? Something like that. Give me 1 second. I gotta think about this a little more. Yeah, so it's going to be kind of like this. So now, if we take that piece of paper and we add, just have no joints. And thanks, Mike, I appreciate it. So if we add a little bit more to it, let's make this shape three-dimensional. We're gonna make it a rectangular prism. So now let's do, we'll start it off like this, just so you can kind of see the shape of it a little bit, and then I will twist this. So as you can see, and if I were to draw through, it would be something like this. So you can see like the back end and everything like that. So when you twist this, you're gonna get this part is going to come, and I'm gonna twist it the same way. So this part is going to come here. Give me 1 second, because I used to have a way that I did this. Thank you for asking this, because this is something I definitely need to work on myself. How did I used to do this? I used to do here. 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 There. Okay. So we have... have something like that, and this back end let me think here. Yeah, so this corner is going to line up with this corner, and this corner is going to go to the back where we can't see it. Alright, so you get something like that. Alright, now for a body. So this is going to be a little more difficult because now we have multiple parts. The reason why this is important to know is because in particular the abdominal region. So if we're looking at the body and we want to twist the body, so let's say the torso is, or the the rib cage is going this direction. And then we're gonna have the hips be, let's do like a slightly more gentle twist at first. So we're gonna have the hips here. So now we connect these center lines. Alright. So this body can twist a bit more. So let's go a little further. And if you're wondering, so the muscles and stuff, you would get this. The abdominal region is going to follow this path here. Alright, so let's twist this a bit more. So I'm going to probably keep the upper body pretty much the same, and then I will twist the lower body just a bit more. So now I'm going to have the midline be a little closer to here. And in my opinion, this is probably about as much as you should do. Let me edit this a bit because the hips are a little too far away. Pull it this way. How would the skin stretch? So the skin, from this angle, you're gonna get a lot of, you would get folds mostly in this area the way that this one is, and this is going to follow along this path of, so you get like this line of action here. All of this is going to kind of flow within that, and over here, let me see, make sure I'm right. Yeah, over on the other side, you're gonna get some folds in here. They're gonna kind of be going here, so you might get even a slight fold in the abs. So it's gonna crunch on this side. So what do they call that? Squash and pull. You're gonna squash on this side and pull on this side. And that's mostly because of how I have this situated. Like the shoulders are this way, so this person's kind of like tilted. But yeah, you have this like line of action, and that's what you want to follow with your how the skin stretches and pulls and stuff like that. So all of this is going to be pretty smooth. Let me think here. We would get like, yeah, and you're not going to see too much. Like most of this on this back side is going to be bone and rib. And then most of this on this side is going to have the folds and stuff like that. So, people talk about robo bean or just like the bean. So if we look at the bean here, the bean is helpful for these kinds of things. So we have this one coming this way, and then this part going this way. So we get here, but here is the folds. So your skin is gonna follow that fold and that squash and stretch, or squash and pull. Does that help? Always look at reference for this. Like for me, like I'm like somewhat comfortable doing it this way, especially for manga. Like people are only gonna look at it for a few seconds, but if you're gonna do a finished piece, you're gonna want to find. Sorry, I'll keep looking over here because that's where the comments are. But you're gonna want to find some references to help you out. So anytime you have these questions, and I think those are great questions, right? How do you draw a twisting figure? How would the skin stretch? Fantastic questions. Make sure you look up some references for it, because I'm sure this is at least somewhat accurate. Let me see if I can find a reference actually for you. So this is at least somewhat accurate, but you want to look at real life so that you can compare, right? And that's also how you build your imaginative work. So let me see if I can find a. So this is like, let me see something here before I go too far and get myself banned from YouTube. Yeah, this is a pretty good reference image here. So I'll pull this and put it here. Very tiny. So yeah, Loveless, I will give you a tip on that in just a second. So if you look on this reference image, I'll go to purple so that we can see it better. There's no folds happening in here. You can already see folds and overlaps and stuff on this side though. And that's because this side's being squashed right over here. The only like somewhat like fold that you're seeing is kind of in here, but that's because it's that's where like skin, there's a little loose skin where your armpit is. But on this side of the body, this is where all of those overlaps and folds are going to happen, and then on this side you're not going to get as much. The same is true of like clothing as well. So if you like got like a piece of cloth and you twisted it, you're going to get the folds are going to go here, let me explain it this way. Folds of things go where the tension points are. So for instance, if you just drape a piece of cloth over this ball here, all the folds are going to go up and towards this tension point here. With like a twisting motion like this, there's a lot of muscles that are doing a lot. I would agree with you. Like the oblique is definitely doing quite a bit on this side, especially, and but like this, for you to twist your body like this is oblique. This is the abdominal region. Even some of the muscles like in here, which I think that would probably be. That's part of the lat, stuff like that. Like even like your pec is gonna be worked in a little bit right here too. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into that. So yeah, tips on foreshortening. So this will be the last thing I address, and then I'm probably gonna jump off. So when you for serratus, serratus anterior muscles are these muscles in here. Those are the muscles that that cover the rib cage. This is what is this? I think that the is it the lat? I'll have to look. For whatever reason, I'm having a brain just on what you're seeing first and work your way backwards. And I would say you're almost never going to get it correct that way. What you want to do is you want to draw through. So as you can see here, this looks really sloppy, and that's because I decided to draw through. And what that means is I've decided to construct. I did head. I always start with the head, torso. So 1, 2. Then I did the there's like a ball that I like to draw, so that was 3, and that ball is the ball that connects the rib cage with the pelvic region. Jeez, had a brain fart, sorry. And then I like to draw 4. Maybe I can make a little bit better placed arrow so it doesn't look like it's going right up her crack. 4 is the pelvic region, and then I start to draw limbs, but I go in a specific order for the limbs as well. So I do, sorry, I know this is a long-winded answer, I'll explain. I do upper limb 5, lower limb 6, foot 7. So the reason for that is because I'm going from like the body out, and now I can go back through and I can erase. And that's what drawing through is. You draw everything that is present, and then you go back through and you erase. So one thing I would correct here is the leg's probably more like that. Right? So now there's no question what is in front of what. Right? So the upper leg is behind the lower leg. The foot also comes in front of the lower leg. This character's left leg is in front of the character's right leg, and stuff like that. So now let's go to something that's more foreshortened, which is this. So this is sloppy, but you can tell that this fist is coming towards us, right? I used the same principle here. So I drew the torso, then I drew this shoulder, and now I would go in and I would draw this part of the arm, this upper arm, and then you go back in and you draw the lower arm, which is coming towards us. Okay, so that's the order that you want to do that in. And then you can think about things like how muscles and stuff overlap. The other big thing too is you want to have your lines be thicker the closer it is towards you, and go thinner as it goes. So if I were to really make this look super duper foreshortened, and I'm just gonna use a square, I'm not gonna, or a rectangle, I'm not gonna go all out here. It would take me forever. But I would go through and make sure that I have the lines being kind of accentuated in the areas that it needs to be. So whenever there's an overlap, I'm kind of darkening it up a bit, so that we can see that, hey, this is in front, this is next, this piece right here is in front of this piece, and so on and so forth. So that's another big one, is making sure your overlaps are super clear. You don't want to have tangents, which is, for instance, this connection point between upper arm and lower arm. What I wouldn't want to do is I wouldn't want to, sorry, I'm going to erase away this stuff so it makes it clear. I wouldn't want to just have these two things connect there, and then there, and then have it like this. This flattens out your image. So again, like, now we have no information on what is in front of what is in front of what, right? Versus if I just undo, this is very clear what's in front of what. So that's the other part of foreshortening that's important. Yeah, so overlaps, making volumized shapes is important. going from the body out, because most of the foreshortening is like a hand or something like that that's coming towards the camera, or a limb. Sometimes you might get like a head that's coming toward, but you still want to work from the back up, and you want to draw through and then erase away. So, all right, everybody, that's gonna be it for me today. I will post this stuff up, or some of these things up, on Instagram. So if you want to use some of this as like a reference to help you symbolize shapes and things like that, you can definitely do that. I'll try to do this weekly. I'll probably do it tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. That'll be my job. So I'll get some of these up for you tomorrow afternoon. Hopefully it's helpful for you. Make sure you follow me on Instagram if that's something that you would like to use. And tag me in it. If you're using it on Insta and you're posting stuff up on Insta or wherever, you too, Coop. I appreciate you joining. I love you. So yeah, if you use any of my stuff, then yeah, just tag me and I'll make sure to look at it and like it and stuff like that. All right, everybody. I'll see you on Thursday. I hope you have a great night. Take care of yourself. And again, really appreciate y'all jumping on to the live stream and making it a lively one. Thank you for all your questions. All right, see you in the next one.